And hey there again, baseball fans, 9th January 2026. And look who's here, Nathaniel. And look who's here, Brother Jack Dawson. I'm telling you what, can one man be any more blessed than to have these two awesome folk in here with me? I think not. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you guys are doing great. All right, so we're going to continue with a bit of 1971, leading up to, you know, going through the season and then going into legacy mode and shooting on to 1972 and seeing how this stuff works, but savoring it, taking our time. Tribe Fan 879 says happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday to you, dude, and hope you're doing well as well. All right. Nathaniel says he's great, and he is adding 3, not 2, not 1, but 3 exclamation points. And that makes it all the better. All right, so I think we're gonna do a Pittsburgh Pirate game tonight. So this could be Moose versus Jarvis. Bucks 2-0, Atlanta Braves 0-2. So it's gonna be that or the Royals and the A's. So I think we'll do the Buccos. So let's go ahead and autoplay the other games out of the way. And first up, Chicago Cubs versus the Houston Astros. This is Pappas versus Griffin. And here we go. So 3-0. Houston defeats the Cubbies. Houston goes to 4-1 on the season. Chicago 1-3. Griffin with the win. Pappas with the loss. And Lil Joe Morgan goes 2 for 3 with a home run and a stolen base. And always like to look at box scores when you got this kind of game. This is a 3-hitter. A 3-hitter. And let's look at the so Cesar Cedeno went 2 for 4 with a double. Hyatt went 1 for 1 with a double and 2 walks. And Morgan 2 for 3, home run and a stolen base. Player of the game, of course, is Joe Morgan. So there we go with that one. Next one, the Detroit Tigers versus the Baltimore Orioles. This is a good one. Necro and Cuellar. We're going to go ahead and auto it anyhow. We'll be going through these. So Necro takes the win. Cuellar with the loss. Al Kaline goes 2 for 5 with a home run. All right, next up, Minnesota Twins, Chicago White Sox, Hall versus Bradley. And Romo gets the win. Pernoski gets the loss. So the starters don't make it too far. So good close game there. Reese 2 for 4 with his third home run, 2 runs batted in. And Dwayne Martz TV network, Dwayne Martz YouTube network. There he is. How you doing, Dwayne? Good to see you, man. How's it going, brother? Hope you're doing well. New York Yankees and Washington Senators, Peterson versus McLean. And the Senators edge the Yankees 3-2. McLean gets the win. Peterson with the loss. Billings goes 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. And Greg Gorecki, there he is. How you doing, Greg? All right, all the awesomeness, all the glitterati, cognoscenti, if you will. They're all here. They're all here. Welcome in, guys. San Diego Padres versus the LA Dodgers. Combs versus Singer. All right. And the Padres all over the Dodgers 9-1. Combs with the win, Singer with the loss. And Gaston goes 3 for 5 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. And then finally, this is a pretty good matchup here. Jim Rooker versus Vita Blue. Kansas City Royals versus the Oakland A's. The Royals off to an 0-3 start. Oakland at 2-1. So Kansas City looking for its first win. Let's see what we got. And not going to happen today. So Kansas City 0-4 now, and Oakland moved to 3-1. Vita Blue with the win. Bergmeyer with the loss. Bert Campaneris going all kinds of fun today for the Oakland A's. 2 for 3 with a stolen base. That brings us then to tonight's game. And Bart, how you doing? Welcome in, Bart. Welcome. The Pittsburgh Pirates off to a 2-0 start against Dwayne Martz's Atlanta Braves. They're at an 0-2 start. This will be Moose versus Jarvis. Let's go. And I have to remember to turn the sound back on because I had it turned off before. And we'll get there in a second. All right. So here we go. And let's get into it. And let's just skip all that nonsense and jump right into the game, baby. All right, and let's go. Oh my God! Well, we're gonna have to talk for a few minutes because I thought I had this ballpark set up. All right, You have a cousin named Bart. Nice. Okay, display, park layouts. So glad you can do this right in game. Um, and we're going to turn off manual entry. All right. So what you guys playing? What you guys rolling up? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing on a Friday night here in YouTube land? All right, I'm gonna have to really pull this down here and back up. There we go. We don't want to be squiffy, not too squiffy, right? Okay, first base. Yeah, I really thought I had this one set up because we had done the that 1992 Game 7 LCS or NLCS a couple years ago, and I must have forgot to just transfer this during one version. Is I don't do a lot of Braves games, but Dwayne, don't be upset. You know I don't do a lot of Bucko games on here either. So just be a minute here till I get this set up, and we'll go. Let's not have the left fielder hugging the track, nor the center fielder. Let's actually put the pitcher on the bump. What a so again, what the game tries to do is it tries to approximate where things are. But boy, this had them all messed up here, didn't it? Okay, let's put a lefty batter over there, just like that, and boom, and we're almost ready to go. Just check these fence heights. Got to fix the power alleys here. Good grief! All right, all right. It's been one of those interesting days. We started out today. We're going to do Strat with Action PC manual entry, and then Strat decided to freak out, and then Action PC decided to freak out. So we ended up just having a nice baseball chat about cards and dice and digital and God knows what else. All right, this will be good enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. That looks better. And Gary says a pleasant good evening to Beatles in the chat fam. There you go. You got it. Because it is a fam. So good news here from Tribe Fan, from Timmy says he uploaded game 4 of his 1972 Roberto Clemente project this morning. Hoping to get 1 or 2 more videos out this weekend. So guys, please subscribe to Tim's broadcast or Tim's channel. It's nice to have him back to broadcasting. Cousin Ken is in here, so we have a nice afternoon. Indeed, we did. That was a fun one for all the craziness that was going on. And as Tim comes in, it was a chic kind of afternoon. Freak out. So channeling his inner disco king is Tribe Fan. And the double whammy. It is the double whammy. When you got Nathaniel on 2 different broadcasts, it's excellent. All right, here we go. 1971. Let's look at the starting defense for the Atlanta Braves in left field. This was before they were America's team, by the way. In left field, Ralph Garr. In center, Sonny Jackson. And in right, the great Hammer and Hank Aaron. Oh my God, let me fix this. I'm sorry, I'm very anal about these things, but got to fix this because look where Cepeda's playing. He's practically playing in right field. We just can't have that. So there we go. And save. There we go. Cepeda moving in there. All right. From first to third, Orlando Cepeda, Felix Mian, Marty Perez, Clete Boyer, and Hal King behind the plate, and on the mound, Pat Jarvis. A 4.10 earned or an average in 1971, 6 wins, 14 losses, 1 save for him. Let's turn off manual entry, and let's make sure that I am not managing the Braves. All right, here we go. Leading things off here, second baseman Bill Mazeroski, 254 in 1971, a home run, 16 runs batted in. Pat Jarvis to deal, 0-2 pitch. Mazeroski lofts this one to left. Ralph Garr has it all the way, 1 up, 1 down. We're underway here at Milwaukee Stadium, Fulton County Stadium. David Baseball Demo says he's here, but just lurking with your fluffy cat. So it was kind of beautiful, though, David, because RJL had a power outage last night. That lamp went out, and I truly think it was because he was just picking on Tabby, man. She is more than merely a fluffy cat. All right, Richie Hebner batting in the number 2 slot here. Hebner on the season 182, average in 1971, 271, with 17 home runs for the Gravedigger's son. Jarvis has the sign from King. 1-0 pitch, and Hebner puts a charge in this one off the wall in center field. Hebner going for 3, and a 1-out triple for Richie Hebner. And because that looked a little weird, I'm going to just check. Whoops, going to check this too. He would have had a triple anyhow. These are just strictly for the scoreboard. But let's move this over, and let's bring center field down a little bit, because just where the ball goes. Ugh, I really wish they'd fix this part, but we'll take it. There we go. Top of the fence. Let's bring it down a little bit. Bring this fence down a little bit. Let's be real, right? Then you got to move it all over the place. There you go. That's the secret. You got to kind of move it all over the place and then just kind of get it to where you want. Except in this case, there must be a grid underneath here or something. That's all I can figure. There we go. Cards and dice guys don't have to deal with this crazy crap, do they? All right. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome in. John DFW joining us here in 1971. All right, Roberto Clemente up next, and he is the subject of the latest project from Cali Baseball Fans. So subscribe to that channel, to Tim. He's doing a 1917 Roberto Clemente project, The Road to 3,000. Clemente, right now, 341 in 1971, 13 home runs, 86 runs batted in. And we're not going to worry about averages too much. We're early, only in game 3 for these two teams. Jarvis deals Clemente, hard line drive over Perez into left center field. Richie Hebner will come in to score, and Clemente with an RBI single, and the Pittsburgh Pirates tally first. David says he was messing with the ballpark creator, Ala Park Baseball, but didn't see an option for AstroTurf or domed stadium. That's because you're I think that's because you're still in Ala Park 25. Pretty sure that is. I have to look though. I don't mess around too much with the ballpark creator, David, so I'll look around and see what's in that and let you know. Because I think at least they added that they added those things in 26, but I can't remember right now. We just have to worry about the dice missing the dice tower, dice coming out of the dice tower, or dropping dice. Then again, it is an official game if the dice don't come off the table, says Tim. Very true there, right? All right, Willie Stargell, 295 average in 1971 for the World Championship Pittsburgh Pirates. 48 home runs, 125 runs batted in. All right, Clemente on at first, and Stargell lifts this high to right field. Aaron back, and near the track makes the catch for out number 2. Stargell will get back to first, and here's center fielder Al Oliver getting the start tonight. Oliver hit 282 in 1971, 14 home runs, 64 ribbies for him. Jarvis deals 2-0 pitch, fly ball, deep center field. Sonny Jackson has it at the wall. That retires the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they do pick up a run on 2 errors, or 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Half inning in the books, the Pittsburgh Pirates won, and the Atlanta Braves coming to bat. The eyes are doing absolutely great. Thank you, John, for asking. Seeing almost perfectly. It's pretty good. So doctor said it'll just keep getting better and better and better. So just feels so good to be able to actually, kind of funny. So I've been playing Action PC since 2017, and I never realized what a vibrant looking game it really is. Always looked more subdued to me, but yeah, there you go. So I've had eye problems for years, man. All right, so starting defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates in left field, Willie Stargell. In center, Al Oliver, and right, Roberto Clemente. Bob Robertson is at first, Bill Mazeroski at second, Jackie Hernandez at short, Richie Hebner at third. Behind the plate, Manny Sanguillen, and on the mound, Bob Moose. 4.11 earned run average for him in 1971, 11 wins, 7 losses, a save. And leading off, Sonny Jackson, 258 hitter with 2 home runs, 25 ribbies. Moose deals 1-1 pitch. Sonny Jackson bouncer to Hebner at third. Long throw across the diamond. Bob Robertson has it. Score at 5-3 for out number one. John says, awesome. How was the operation? It was great. Thank you, Paul. Welcome in. So, like the right eye, when I had that done first, they did significantly more surgery, kind of voodoo on that. And this one, they hardly did anything. And the pain, though, last night, even though did a broadcast, it hurt. I couldn't see anything out of the eye they operated on. And then today, boom, just seeing really super, super, super well. Women even look better too. Now I just need one. But yeah, they definitely do. Don't get bothered because you will lose your peripheral vision. Actually, no. Doctor said this is no. Actually, everything should go. If not exactly 2020, very near. The right eye is 2020. The left eye, not quite yet, but really close. Ken Castro says, cousin, my nightmare finally ended. Yeah, man, you had a hell of a game. Ended after you cut out this afternoon. I had to. Sorry, guys, that was an important call I had to take. 19-2, 23 hits for the winners. Oh my God. Yowza. That is a nightmare. Those are the worst games. Yikes. Thank you, Nathaniel. Man, that was bad, but at least you're back to rolling, and that's what's important. Here's Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr's got some speed, so the Braves want to get him aboard. Hank Aaron waits on deck. Ralph Garr, 343 hitter, 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in. And Moose deals 0-1 pitch. This one, bouncer back to Moose. Moose goes to throw the ball and drops it on the mound. So we talk about the Braves wanting to get Ralph Garr on, and they do. Score that one, E1. It brings up Hammer and Hank Aaron. Just one homer less than Willie Stargell in 1971. So 47 home runs for Hank Aaron and a 327 average, 118 ribbies for him. What an excellent year he had. 19-2. Good God. I can only boo for Moose, says Tim. I can only imagine. Those games are just, I did one here one night. It was a digital game, but it was a 1902 Pirates against somebody else. And it was a blowout. And it was like, ugh. 1-0 to Hank Aaron. Hernandez is going to go to Robertson for out number 2. And Ralph Garr had a great jump. He will make it into second. All right, runner in scoring position here for the Atlanta Braves for the Baby Bulls. So Cepeda, 14 home runs, 44 ribbies, and 276 average in the 1971 season. 1-2 pitch and fly ball down the right field line, staying on the infield and going out on the grass in foul territory and waiting for it to come down is Bob Robertson. So that will do it for the Atlanta Braves. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the second inning. And the Pirates lead the Braves 1-0. Paul says his 75 co-op league Red Sox just beat the Orioles. A 17-2 win with 7 dingers. This must be the day for crazy, crazy baseball happenings. The baseball gods are in a crazy mood, apparently, today. Dwayne says this might have been, the 1971 might have been Hank Aaron's highest home run year. So Paul says, yep, he didn't roll it, but it was just updating stats. Wow, still crazy, crazy stuff. All right. So, and Bob Robertson getting that catch near the dugout will lead things off here. Robertson, 26 home runs, 271 average, 72 runs batted in for him. Jarvis deals 1-1 pitch, fly ball, center field. Sonny Jackson has it at the wall. So the Buccos giving the ball a deep ride. And here comes Manny Sanguillen. 319 average for Sangui, 7 home runs, 81 runs batted in. All right, Pat Jarvis has the sign, 2-1 pitch. And hard line drive out to center field. Jackson has to chase it to the wall. And actually, so they're going to score that. A single with an error, E8. So I think with Sanguillen's speed, he had excellent speed for a catcher. Sanguillen gets a double anyhow, but the official scorer is going to tag the error on Sonny Jackson. Jackie Hernandez up there now, 206 average for him, 3 homers, 26 runs batted in. All right. Runner in scoring position for the Bucks. One down, top of the second. Jarvis deals full count. Fly ball. Sonny Jackson busy out there. Sanguillen will hold at second. All right. Two away now. And here's Bob Moose. Here's the pitch. And Bob Moose. Swing and a miss. And that will do it for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The runs, one hit, and one error. And we go to the bottom of the second inning here at Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. And it's the Pirates 1 and the Braves nothing. Ken says he's got another game ready to go, but he's afraid. He's afraid. So Ken, you have to do what the just do what Serrano did, right, with Jobu in Major League. You say, give me good game, Jobu. I don't need you anymore. Something like that, right? So that's what I would do. That's what I would do, man. All right, we got King, Mian, and Boyer due up for the Braves. Hal King, a 207 average in 1971, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Bob Moose with the 0-2 delivery, and Hal King looks at just one right down the middle too. So one away, and here's Felix Mian, 289, 2-49 is his line. 1-2 pitch, beyond base hit into right field. Clemente, Oliver converts. Clemente gets to the ball, fires it in. Runner aboard now for Cleet Boyer. So Cleet Boyer, not Ken, not Cloyd, but Cleet. 245 average, 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Tying run aboard for the Atlanta Braves. Moose winds and deals 2-1 pitch. Grounder. Hernandez is going to go to Robertson for out number 2. Mian will get to second on the play. Again, good jump, decent speed there. Brings up Marty Perez, and I'm probably going to accidentally call him Tony Perez all night. So mea culpa, mea culpa. Anyhow, 227 average, 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. David says, you want crazy? Decrepit Fossil, Ron Say went 5 for 5 with 2 home runs, including the walk-off winner in the 1987 Strat game this morning. The 5-5 raised his average 235. The baseball gods are crazy today. They really, really do. Paul says, I so wish this was open engine. Only reason I stopped it being my only baseball game, which it was for 5 years. Too bad. Ball was so juiced in 1987, says John. All right. So, again, I don't care. Closed engine, open engine. Does it play a good game of baseball? And I think it does. And of course, now you got manual entry, but horses for courses, my friend. Paul says Ron Say seems to be in every project he reads about. The Penguin does kind of show up everywhere, doesn't he? All right, here's Marty Perez and Jarvis. Pat Jarvis waits on deck. And full count. Grounder, Mazeroski to Robinson, and that will take care of the Braves as they strand one. We go to the top of the third. Pirates lead the Braves 1-0. I think the guys are craving real baseball. Pitchers and catchers report just over a month away. Yeah, how about it? So a few days after the Stupor Bowl. So I guess it is about 5 weeks. So nice. And welcome in, Mick. He says the Major League Baseball Sims Action PC Out of the Park, Diamond Mind are all closed engine, right? Yep, they are. And they also happen to be superb baseball games. And we had a nice conversation today about cards and dice baseball and digital baseball. And most digital baseball sims are quote unquote closed engines. They weren't trying to clone anything or copy anything or whatever. So obviously PC Replay, Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, Digital Diamond is an open engine. So there are certainly exceptions to the rule. I would argue, however, that games like Digital Diamond and Pocket Run are hybrid games, as is Strat PC. The Baseball for Windows, even though you can look at all their master ratings and everything, that's a closed engine, though it is APA Baseball. So go figure. I don't know. It's what you like, right? It's what you like. But I don't know why it has. Do I trust it? I trust this game completely, but I've played enough of it to see that it plays a good, accurate game of baseball. But no, I mean, I get it, Paul. I totally get it. So you're going to play a John Stupert game on that Sunday morning. That sounds good, David. Maybe we'll tune in and watch that before we get going. Mick, also Baseball Mogul is a closed engine game, pure sim baseball, old time baseball, um, full count baseball. Dombrov is a hybrid, so Dombrov is both. Yeah, there we go. All right. Jarvis ready to deal. We've got back at the top of the order Bill Mazeroski, Richie Hebner, Roberto Clemente. Maz fly to left back in the first inning. Pat Jarvis deals 1-1 pitch, pop behind the plate. This is going to make the seats as Hal King run out of room. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mazeroski. Hard ground ball to Marty Perez. Mazeroski, good speed going down the line, and bad throw by Marty Perez. So score that one E6. So Mazeroski will hold at first. Second error committed by the Braves. 3 errors total in this game. 1 by the Pirates, 2 by the Braves. This playing sort of like a dead ball game. Richie Hebner is 1 for 1. Triple back in the first. Jarvis, full count, and he loses Hebner. All right, so 2 on for the Bucks. Nobody out for Berto Clemente. RBI single that scored Richie back in the first. And 2-1 pitch. Clemente sends this deep to center field. Sonny Jackson has it tagging, and holding at second there will be Bill Mazeroski. So big out there. It brings up Willie Stargell. Love baseball for Windows. So do I. Love it to death. Bart says he's playing a 1964 replay with inside pitch PC Open Engine. Yep. So that's a hybrid. And an excellent game from what I've heard. I mean, I've only ever seen inside pitch, the cards and dice version, but I love watching Robert play it. Good stuff. And David. So 1964, Bart, that would interest Ken because of those Philadelphia Phillies. It interests me as a Beatles fan because, you know, so when Beatlemania starts in America. But no, good season. Paul says the new Digital Diamond Status Pro Advanced game engine, I am hoping meets all of his his wet dreams. He says yes. That will blur the lines between hybrid and open. I'm hoping it will too. Last year was a little bit of a letdown, but I think Mark's going to do it up right this time, pal. I really, really do. Stargell, nothing for 1, flew out to deep right center last time. Up, count 1 and 2, and Stargell sends this high to right, but not deep enough. Hank Aaron will make the catch, and Bill Mazeroski will again hold second. So 2 away now, and the Buccos with a chance here to add a little bit of padding, maybe letting the proverbial standing there by the side of like the house by the side of the road, right? Al Oliver flew out to deep right last time. Jarvis 1-0 pitch. This should end the inning. Fly ball to center field. Sonny Jackson has it, and that does it. The Buccos strand 2. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Pirates 1, and the Atlanta Braves nothing. David says he might play Stuper's major league debut on 1st June 1982 for the Cardinals versus the Giants. He said he could do Stratter inside pitch, the good version of inside pitch, says David. So Mick, you were not hallucinating. We were on earlier, but what was happening was I just very innocently thought, why not do a game, Strat Max and manual entry and Action PC baseball, right? So get everything set up in Strat after some issues and all that kind of stuff, and get everything set up in Action PC. Get going. All of a sudden, first Strat glitches, then then Action PC glitches, and I'm like, bah! Turned off the sound, and then it glitched on me again because it opened a second copy of Action PC Baseball, which was driving me nuts. And then I had to go in and change what was it? I had to change a picture or whatever, something I had to do. The game wouldn't let me out, wouldn't let me turn off the DH. There needs to be a menu choice when you click play and you're in that thing to be able to change that rule at least. And I said Bafangustunad, and we just watched the game play out while we had a great discussion. But I did show Clinton Parks though how to. There was some play he didn't know how to score in pocket pennant run baseball, and I showed him. So there was at least that, but the rest of it was shite. So I took down the video afterwards. Stick tap. He says nothing wrong with hallucinations. Just saying. Picture yourself in a boat in a river. Cardinals and Yanks in the World Series in 1964. Phillies, boy, wasn't that the big choke that year? All right, here we go. Pat Jarvis up there. So another improvement I do like is so you can see the pitch count for the pitchers all the time, even when they're at bat. And I think this is really, really, really helpful, by the way. Because yeah, you can see it up here in the lineup. But if you're thinking about a pitching change, if you're playing real baseball, I think it's kind of nice to see just to get a sense of where your pitcher is in terms of pitch count. So another nice little quality of life. All right, 0-2 pitch, and Jarvis looks at an inside corner, strike three. So Bob Moose coming in there with a little hammer action. Back at the top of the order now, center fielder Sonny Jackson grounded to third. 0-2 pitch, and this is going to be line drive, base hit over second into center field. Sonny Jackson aboard brings up Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr was safe on an error back in the first inning. All right, Jackson into his lead at first. Moose with a check of the runner. Comes home with it. 1-2 pitch. Maz to Hernandez, but Jackson with a good slide breaks up a potential 4-6-3 double play. 2 out for Hammer and Hank Aaron. He has nothing for one. Grounded to short last time. Moose throws over, and got to keep Ralph Garr innocent because he's got Larcy in his heart all day long. The Phillies are that other team in Pennsylvania, right? Absolutely. So that from the other side of the Commonwealth. Yeah, you do, Nathan. Priorities, man. Priorities. Priorities. Of course, what you're doing is very important, but outside of work, outside of what you're doing, this should be your priority, right? Baseball. Moose deals 3-1 pitch. So on a pitcher's count, Aaron is going to foul this one, and this is going to bounce into the seats. So full count on Hank Aaron. He gets another look at Bob Moose. Here's the pitch. And Aaron, once again, fighting this one off. This will make the seats. Bob Robertson giving chase near the dugout, just out of reach. So Hank Aaron putting up a battle here against Bob Moose. And once again, here we go. This time straightens it out. Hopper to Richie Hebner, and he's going to take the short route to Bill Mazeroski for the 5-4 putout. So the Braves threaten, do not score. They do pick up a hit, and that's it. Go to the top of the fourth inning. Pittsburgh leads Atlanta 1-0. So yeah, you do, man. Got those priorities, you know. Bob Robertson, Manny Sanguilla, and Jackie Hernandez do up for Danny Murtaugh, Pittsburgh Pirates. Jarvis deals, count even on Bob Robertson, fly out to Sonny Jackson. Everything going out to center field today. The Pirates hitting out to center field. Sonny Jackson is definitely getting his 10,000 steps in. So Bart says he lives outside of Philadelphia. How close am I to Lemoyne, Pennsylvania? Extremely close to Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, actually. Is there something cool in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania that I should know about, David? Like, did you move there or something, or what? I had to go get one of my synthesizers serviced over in Lemoyne. And that's also part of our service area where I work at FedEx. And Nathaniel lives outside of Madison, Wisconsin, which explains now to me why he's a Brewers fan. I didn't know that you were a cheesehead person. Good stuff. All right, here's Manny Sanguilla, and Sanguilla is 1-for-1, singled and advanced to second on the error by Sonny Jackson. Jarvis deals, and fly ball to right. This one high, but not deep. Hank Aaron has it in his sights for out number 2. Jackie Hernandez, nothing for one, fought the shallow center. Giovanni's tailor shop is there. Oh, they are. So they're the fictional sponsor. Okay, I had no idea. Well, now, next time I'm over in Lemoyne, I'll have to check that out. Lemoyne is very close by me, literally like I don't know, 15 minutes, if that. So right now, staying on the wrong side of the Commonwealth, I would like to get back to, if I were to stay in Western PA, I want to get back over to the Pittsburgh side of business. Jarvis deals on the 2-0, shallow fly ball left field. Ralph Garr trots in and makes the grab. And the Pittsburgh Pirates get nothing here. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Tight ball game here, 1-0. Pittsburgh and Atlanta, they sponsor the tailor-made double play of the game. That's really cool. If I'm ever in there, I'll have to stop in and say, hey guys, I'm going to tell you a little story. You guys are getting some free advertising on the YouTube. Who knows, David? Maybe they'll let you use their logo or something. That'd be cool, right? You would have, like, you'd be the first among us to have a real company sponsor. And I'm not talking like gaming either, David. That put you up against that guy whose lights blow out all the time and makes fun of Tabby, right? I'm on your side on this one, David. I really am. That RJO Network guy, I don't know about him sometimes. That fluffy cat. How demeaning can you get? You know what? You should get Tabby if you're watching. She should cough up a fur ball every time that Robert's on, but I'm sure you give her good doses of olive oil and stuff. She needs to avoid that, but it would be fun. Cack up a good one to him, Tabby. That's what I say. Yes, the Harrisburg Senators. They're out on City Island, John. And well, minor league games are just fun, right? But yeah, so the Senators, always a fun time. Nice ballpark out there on City Island. The grandstands are among the steepest I've ever seen. But yeah, lots of fun, and some pretty good players rolling through Harrisburg. So seen a couple games there, good stuff. That's it. Stadium Barsup Fur Bowl. David, if you haven't, you have to adopt that um for your broadcast, man. Uh Tim says, could a scoreless inning or player going 0 for whatever be sponsored by your local donut shop? I think it should. I think it should. We have corporate genius in here tonight. I think we should do it, guys. And there's D. Scott Howard with a very understated hello, everybody. D. Scott informed us today that he started playing Stratomatic baseball when Strat was only 4 years old. How cool is that? Imagine all the tales he could tell. Ken started, I think, in the summer of love, or in the year of love, summer of love, 1967. So, there was a night that we had Tim, we had Ken, we had a couple guys on the mic and in chat. The guys that started this, I'd love to have them, even if it's just chat. If they didn't want to come on the microphone to talk about the way it was, man, because it was one of the most memorable things, and probably nobody, I remember it. A few of the veterans here remember it. It was such a great time. It was Ken Castro, D. Scott Howard. I think the Cubs to Bears was in here, and there was one other guy. Man, he hasn't been in here in a while. Italian name or something. Ken's got 50 years or 59 years in with cards and dice. Baseball Demo says also has the ceremonial first sip before every morning game. David, you're getting to be like you're like David. You're becoming like You're like one of the suits, brother. You're one of the suits, right? You got your first sip and all that kind of stuff going on, and on the verge of an actual company sponsor. I'm jealous. Yeah, in a good way, brother. In a good way. All right, Cepeda popped to first last time up. Bottom of the fourth action here in Atlanta. Bob Moose deals 1-1 pitch and line drive out to Al Oliver, and he will make the catch. So one away now for Hal King. Hal King struck out back in the second. Here's the pitch. Swing on the first pitch. Hal King sends this routine fly ball to right field. Roberto Clemente has it in his sights and brings us down. 2 up, 2 down now for the Atlanta Braves. And here's Felix Mian batting in the sixth hole. Singled back in the second. Clete Boyer waits on deck. Bob Moose with a 1-1 pitch. Hard grounder to Jackie Hernandez. He has all day to get this throw off to Bob Robertson. And the Atlanta Braves go 1-2-3. We head to the top of the fifth inning. Pirates leading the Braves 1-0 here in 1971, April 9th, to be exact. All right, and it will be Moose, Mazeroski, and Hebner due up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Back in the second, Bob Moose struck out. Jarvis deals 1-0 pitch. And who else but Sonny Jackson? One up, one down. All right, Maz is nothing for two today. He's flown out. But it was last time, was safe on an error. 0-2 pitch. Yes, it's Sonny Jackson. Everybody has to have a shot every time Sonny Jackson makes a play. The Strat Appa debate was already raging, says D. Scott Howard, in 1965. Oh my God, that's crazy. So we both got Flyers and went with Strat. I didn't know it went back that far. That's crazy. Baseball Demo says he says he should do a roadside to Ticonderoga, New York, to play a Ticonderoga Stooges game, and then hit Giovanni's tailor shop on the way back. Let me know if you do that, man. I think you should. That'd be great. Love to meet up with you, man. Have a cup of Java. That'd be fun. All right, Richie Hebner is 1 for 1. So yeah, Ken breaking my heart here. So he says their family vacation in 1968 was to Appa in Lancaster. So I'm about 40 minutes from Lancaster, PA, and I get back to America and I found out the bastards moved to Alpharetta, Georgia. Because I'd asked my friends, I said, "Are you guys close to Lancaster?" And they're like, "Oh, hell yeah." Son of a bitch. So there we go. And I don't have any friends in Georgia, so nothing I can do about it. I'd love to hear about what that was like, Ken. Just the facility, just everything. That had to have been so very cool. Richie Hebner with a triple and a walk in this game. Jarvis deals 0-1 pitch. Hebner swung on and little liner, soft liner into right field for a base hit. So Richie Hebner, and ignore the poor play stuff. Bah. And John used to live in Alpharetta, Georgia. Used to, see? So now he's further away from Appa, too. 4-hour drive for David. David, you're down in Virginia, is that right? I love Virginia. I think Virginia is actually my favorite state in the Union. It's beautiful. Love Virginia. So they took this wide-eyed boy on a tour. Wow. How cool, man. Jeez. Berto Clemente, RBI single back in the first, flew out in the third. Pitch from Jarvis, and there goes Richie Hebner. It was a wild pitch. So Hebner makes it to second, and Jarvis kind of ball slips out of his hand there, 85 miles an hour in the gun. So, yeah, you're in Richmond. Okay. I've been in your neck of the woods many times. In fact, I'm not that far from you, actually. Where I am is not terribly far, really. So you're saying 4 hours to Lemoyne? Really? Is that far? So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, because of where Richmond is, because it's got to be because D.C., I am not 4 hours from Washington, D.C. So, yep, home of the Flying Squirrels. Last Senators game that I saw was against the Flying Squirrels, actually. So that was fun. All right, here we go. Richie Hebner now in scoring position thanks to the Pat Jarvis wild pitch. 2-1, and Hebner was on the way there. Base hit into right, and Hebner turns on the jet, cuts third, makes it to home, and Roberto Clemente picks up the RBI single, and the Buccos now take a 2-0 lead. Willie Stargell, 0-2. You met Seitz, did you? Grumpy Seitz. Willie Stargell was flown out to deep right center both times up. Jarvis deals, and Stargell's going to foul tip this one, and he is going to stay in there for another look. Count 1-2, and Stargell taps this one to the baby bull, takes it to the bag himself. That retires the side, but the Pittsburgh Pirates pick up a run on 2 hits. It was the RBI single by Roberto Clemente that scored Richie Hebner. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Pirates 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing in the 1971 replay that will ultimately lead to trying out the legacy mode. Clete Boyer grounded to short last time. Boyer, Perez, and Jarvis due up for the Dwayne Martz Atlanta Braves. Moose deals to Boyer, 1-2 pitch. Fly ball high and deep to center field. And Al Oliver against the wall, makes the grab. Wowza. So Boyer gave it a ride, baby. And there's Clinton Parks joining us. D. Scott Howard says, I'd expect some good fielding in Richmond because here's that Virginia is for Glovers. Did Dwayne change his voice? I know, right? A Braves game. Wow. All right, Muddy Perez here, batting with one down. Perez is nothing for one, grounded to second, back in the second. Look at this crew, for fuck's sake, says Ken Castro. Moose deals 1-0 pitch, bounding ball back. Moose off the hill to his left, and a little pass on there to Bob Robertson for the 1-3 putout. So 2 away here for the Braves, and Pat Jarvis struck out last time up. Moose deals 1-0 pitch, and this one tapped back to the mound. And Moose fielding competently for the 1-3 putout. 1, 2, 3 go the Atlanta Braves. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and it is 2-0. The Pittsburgh Pirates leading. Buccos off to a 2-0 start here. Al Oliver, Bob Robertson, Manny Sanguillen due up for the Lumber Company. 2 FD8s for Al Oliver in the game, 0 for 2. 2-1 pitch, fly ball center field. Everybody take a shot. Sonny Jackson makes the catch, running back into his right. Let's have to see how many putouts does Sonny Jackson have in this game. Good God. All right. So D. Scott Howard says, I'm here. He says just here so he doesn't get fined. All right. Here's Bob Robertson. He is nothing for 2. And he has flown out twice in this game. Pat Jarvis, 1-2 pitch. And this one on the outside corner, Robertson does not agree. The man in blue says, go sit down, Mr. Robertson's 2 away now for Manny Sanguillen. So again, good pitchers duel we got going on here. The Braves, despite being down 2 runs, it was just 1 run for the Buccos in the first and 1 in the 5th. All right, Sanguillen flew out to deep right last time, has a single in this game. Jarvis, Sanguillen, and everybody take a shot. And it's Sonny Jackson once again. Sonny Jackson today is Willie Mays. And there we go. All right, nothing across for the Bucks. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2-0. And it will be the erstwhile Sonny Jackson, bespeckled erstwhile that he is. Ralph Garr and Hank Aaron do up. David Baseball Demo says you should channel your inner Danny DeVito RGL during this broadcast. Be there or be square. Oh, he did. He snuck in a football reference. Says D. Scott Howard. So it's no longer a censored word. You guys can say it and spell it and whatever. All right. So Sonny Jackson. So if you guys were doing shots of Tullamore Dew right now, you guys would be feeling a really good buzz right now, Sonny Jackson. So that's the rule. Anytime we got Sonny Jackson on the channel, he makes a play, you gotta take a shot. Here we go. Sonny Jackson, fly ball, center field. Would it be enough? Nope. Center fielder to center fielder. So I'm going to invent my own scoring. Let's score that one 8-8 and 1 down. Ralph Garr, nothing for 2. He's grounded out twice. Moose deals 0-1 pitch, base hit into left field for Ralph Garr. So speed aboard for the Bravos, and the potential tying run comes to the plate, and none other but Hank Aaron. Grounded out twice. Moose deals 1-0 pitch. Aaron lofted to left. Is it high enough? It's deep. It's gone. Open the window, Aunt Minnie. Hank Aaron ties it up with a swing of the bat. So Mr. Dwayne Martz, your Bravos in the bottom of the 6th. It's a whole new ball game, 335 feet for Mr. Aaron. As Tic Tac Sports Network says, every man deserves his due, DEW. Love it. Here's the baby boys popped out and flied out. 2-2 your score. Bob Moose pitches, and Bill Mazeroski retrieves, fires on to Bob Robertson for the 4-3 putout. So Atlanta looking for its first win. Pittsburgh trying to remain undefeated. Here's Hal King. Nothing for 2. Flew out his last time up. And Hal King, whiff and a miss, strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Bob Moose. But 2 runs on 2 hits, a 2-run shot by Hammer and Hank. And 6 in the books here at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's the Pirates 2 and the Braves 2. Jackie Hernandez, Bob Moose, and Bill Mazeroski due up. Jackie has flown out twice in the game. Pat Jarvis deals 3-1 pitch. Get your shot glasses, boys. It's Sonny Jackson again. That's got to be like the 7th putout for Sonny Jackson in this game. All right, one away. Here's Bob Moose. Struck out and flown out. And yes, we are going to allow Vic Davalillo to pitch. Bob Moose's day is done. Davalillo in there, swung on, and this one not hit to Sonny Jackson, but rather Felix Millan to Orlando Cepeda. So 2 up, 2 down now for Bill Mazeroski back at the top of the Bucko order. He is nothing for 3. Sluncha, absolutely Sluncha, stick tap. And looks like Rennie Stennett will come in to pinch hit. Stennett will no doubt stay in and play second sack here, Keystone sack. So here we go. Here's Rennie Stennett, the pitch. Fly ball right field. Hank Aaron actually gets to play one in the outfield. 7th inning stretch time here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 2-2. Pirates and Braves. Be right back. And we're back. Well, let's look. Let's look at reports. So we could certainly look at the score sheet. We got a box score. We got whatever. But let's see if we can do it here by score sheet. Actually, no, can't do it that way. Hang on. Sorry. Channeling my Python here. Let me make sure I don't turn off the. Yeah, I don't want to close the wrong window here because that always sucks. No, I don't want to do that. Oh my God. Why does this thing? There we go. Just hide. Go away. Boy, that's a great question, Mick. That's a great question. Because I've never seen anybody make so many. I mean, we could go through the play-by-play, but we'll kill ourselves. Well, let's look at it. Let's see what we got in the box score here. I don't know. Score sheet Pittsburgh. There we go. All right, so there we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 putouts for Sonny Jackson. So that's 8 shots of Tullamore Dew or whatever your poison is. So wow. All right, let's see who the Bravos are going to bring in here. And Mudcat Grant, I believe. So line drive, base hit to left. Felix Millan aboard, and it is indeed Mudcat Grant and I said the Bravos for the Pirates. Grant 3.60 earned run average in 1971. 5 wins, 3 losses, 7 saves for him. All right, Millan aboard. Go ahead, run on for the Braves in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Clete Boyer. Gave it a ride to deep right center back in the 5th. Wow, indeed, yeah. And this one, a little foul tip. All right, so Boyer gets another look. 1-1 pitch. Bunted. Hebner pounces on it. Over to Stennett, but on the play, Millan moving to scoring position. Marty Perez now nothing for 2. He's grounded out twice in this game. Grant deals 0-1 pitch, and this one lined, and this will twist around the pole and get out of play. Count, no balls, 2 strikes from Marty Perez, and he's going to foul this one. First base side, Bob Robertson really wanting to make a put out in foul territory, and this one out of reach. 0-2 pitch on the way. Perez swings, line drive, base hit, and Marty Perez with an RBI single. Felix Millan will come around to score, and the Braves take the lead in the bottom of the 7th for Dwayne Martz. It is 3-2. So will the MVP of the game be Sonny Jackson and the 317 putouts he's made in center field? We shall find out. All right, so Pat Jarvis, will he bat for himself? 0 for 2 in the game, grounded a pitcher last time, and he will. Gets a nice bunt down, Hebner to Stennett. So On the play, Marty Perez moves into scoring position. And here is the great Sonny Jackson. He is Willie Mays, Tris Speaker, Mickey Mantle, and Joe DiMaggio, and Max Carey, all rolled into one today, apparently. Mudcat Grant peers in, has the sign from Manny Sanguillen. 0-2 pitch. Sonny Jackson, look at him. Base hit. Right field coming around to score will be Marty Perez, and the Atlanta Braves now lead this one 4-2. Mick says we'll be too drunk to know from all the shots. No kidding, right? All right, Ralph Garr, 1 for 3. So Braves now finally show up with their bats. Held scoreless for 5 innings by the Pirates, but they are absolutely besotted here with Mudcat Grant. Ralph Garr singled his last time up. Runner on, 2 down, and the pitch. And Tapper to Stennett at second, and he will go on to Bob Robertson for the 4-3 putout to end the inning. But the Braves pick up 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 7 complete here at Fulton County Stadium. The Atlanta Braves leading the Pittsburgh Pirates here in 1971, 4-2. All right, Richie Hebner is 2 for 2. Will lead things off here in the 8th for the Buccos, be followed by Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell. Hebner with a triple back in the 1st and a single in the 5th. Jarvis deals. Hebner soft liner to Mian at second. 1 up, 1 down. Clemente, good day at the plate. He is 2 for 3, including 2 RBI, both times scoring Richie Hebner. Jarvis deals. 2-2 pitch. Hard ground ball to Perez. Gets it on the short hop and fires on to the baby bull. 2 up, 2 down. Willie Stargell, nothing. 4-3. And Willie Stargell has flown out to Sonny Jackson at least one of those times. Here's the pitch. First pitch swinging, fly ball. Hank Aaron going back and leaps and grabs. Buccos go in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Braves lead the Pirates 4-2 here on 9th April 1971. Mudcat Grant looks okay. No, I don't think we're going to go with merely okay against Hank Aaron. However, I must tell you, gentlemen, that our options here are kind of blah right now. So Bob Miller would be pitching on short rest. So's Luke Walker. I got to stick with Grant for right now. All right. So again, that this is that great for anybody new to Action PC Baseball, this batter pitcher analysis. There's really a lot of good stuff going on right here. So I could look at all the guys in my pen, right, and see how they would do against all these hitters. So good stuff here. But we're going to stay with Mudcat Grant. Hank Aaron is 1 for 2. Last time up, 2-run homer that tied the game at that point, 2-2. Mudcat Grant deals. Aaron, first pitch swinging, and it went. Aunt Minnie started going toward the window, but Willie Stargell said, "Don't worry, Aunt Minnie. Just have that rhubarb pie ready." 1 up, 1 down. Wilver Dornell Stargell from Oklahoma. They love rhubarb pies down there in Oklahoma. All right, 1 away. The baby bull is 0 for 3. Mudcat Grant deals. 0-1 pitch and hard ground ball past short into left field. Cepeda will hold first. So Grant, Mudcat Grant right now approaching his expected pitch count as Aaron Reed comes into the ballpark here, Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing there, Aaron? So Hal King has whiffed twice and has flown to right. So Buccos looking to get out of this one. Grant in a little bit of trouble. Danny Murtaugh staying with him right now. 0-2 pitch popped up the chimney, foul ground behind the plate, and Manny Sanguillen makes the catch. So 2 down. So Mian having a good day at the plate, 2 for 3. We're actually going to go ahead and make a mound trip here. And Grant looks tired. We got to pull him out of the game. And we are, boy, I don't really want to go. But we're going to go ahead and go to Bob Miller, even though he's on short rest. Let's at least get him to get the last out. Bob Miller's like, I don't want to come in, dude. All right. Bob Miller in there. Mudcat Grant is out. All right. So Bob Miller's record, 1.29 earned run average for the Bucks in 1971. 1 win, 2 losses, 3 saves. All right. Mianis, 2 for 3. And you got your 2 tomahawks, says Aaron Reed. And good evening to you, Midlife. I hope you had a better day at work today, man. I really do. Miller deals. Mian swings. Oh, great play by Jackie Hernandez. Diving stopper. This one is all the way for extra bases. We go to the 9th inning. And it's the Braves 4 and the Buccos 2. And it will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Al Oliver, Bob Robertson, and Manny Sanguillen. Al Oliver has flown out all 3 times at bat. Jarvis looking for complete game win here. And here we go. 1-1 pitch. Al Oliver, take a sip, boys. It's Sonny Jackson. Put out number 10 in center field. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. All right, let's get rid of that. All right, glad to hear it, Midlife. All right, here's Bob Robertson, struck out his last time up. Jarvis deals, 2-1 pitch. Popped in the infield, Marty Perez. Waves off Felix Millan, and it's down to Manny Sanguillen to try to keep this game going. 1 for 3 with a single. Pat Jarvis deals, 1-1 pitch. Base hit, left field. So Sanguillen aboard, and the tying run comes to the plate, and Jackie Hernandez, except he's not going to stay there. We are going to go to, we're going to bring Gene Kleins in, I think. Although Jose Pagan, let's cancel this. Let's bring in Jose Pagan to pinch hit. All right, so Pagan, 241 average with 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Bucks trying to tie it up here. Jarvis deals. King out to have a quick word to the hurler. 2-0 pitch to Jose Pagan. Fly ball left field. This one high, but not deep enough for Alf Guard. No, this one off the wall. And coming around to score is Manny Sanguillen. And coming off the bench with an RBI double is Jose Pagan. And the Buccos making it interesting here now. All right, Bob Miller, your day is done, pal. And my goodness gracious, let me see. What do we got? Ooh. All right, let's go with these percentages. Again, normally in a situation like this, Danny Murtaugh is going to go to Gene Kleins. But let's go ahead and just play around with this. Let's bring in Milt May. All right, Jarvis now getting in the sort of kind of tired zone. Buccos with a tying run now in scoring position. This has been a good ball game. All right, Jarvis has the sign from Hal King. And 1-1 pitch. And this should end the game. Fly ball to right. Hank Aaron has it. And that is the ball game. The Atlanta Braves hold on to win this one 4-3 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they pick up their first win of the season. For the Atlanta Braves, now at 1 win, 2 losses, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who dropped to 2 wins and 1 loss. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Mudcat Grant gets the loss, goes to 0-1. Pat Jarvis goes the distance, baby, and goes to 1-0. For the Pittsburgh Pirates in a losing cause, Richie Hebner went 2 for 3 with a triple. Hank Aaron for the Braves, 1 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. And Sonny Jackson made 27,428 putouts in center field. Bob Moose went 6 innings, started the game for the Buccos, 2 earned runs, including a home run. Starts the season with an earned run average of 3. Mudcat Grant worked 1 2/3, 2 earned runs given up by him. 7.71 earned run average. Bob Miller tried to hold the fort, faced or just worked a third of an inning for him and faced 1 batter, of course. All right, Pat Jarvis, 9 innings, complete game, 3 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 2, and an ERA of 3 to begin the season. All right, so it's going to be whoever and Sonny Jackson. So the MVP of the game, co-MVP is going to be Hank Aaron and Sonny Jackson. And let's look at the final Sonny Jackson count. Oh, so there it was. So Al Oliver was the last one. So um, 9 putouts in center field by one Mr. Sonny Jackson. That was fun, baby. That was fun. All right, let's jump back in here, and we're going to look. We're not going to play another game, but we're certainly going to look and see what kind of pitching matchups we will have for Saturday, and what would be on. And I would never steal this from David, but who might be in 1971 if they had it then? I don't know if they did. NBC's Game of the Week. Stoudemire and Schellenbach for the Yankees. Nah, I think we're probably going to just that one. So Nolan Kuzman, Reds, Mets. That might be a good one to play. Oh, geez. Also the Twins and the White Sox, right? So we got that should be Jim Perry, right? Jim Perry and Tommy John. So that one looks good. It looks like these are all good. Holy I don't know what to do here, man. Don't know what to do. So we are back at pretty much the number one in all these rotations. So maybe the next time we come on here and do 1971, we'll just have the chat vote for the game. Let's look at standings in the National League West. The San Diego Padres off to a 4-0 start. In the National League East, the Pittsburgh Pirates holding down first, 2 wins, 1 loss. American League West is California Angels, undefeated at 3-0. And finally, in the American League East, the Detroit Tigers, 2 wins and no losses. So that's where we are very, very, very early in the season. So Mick says he sees 10. So 10 putouts for Sonny Jackson and everybody we would be absolutely blotto about right now. So John DFW is he's voting for Lolich and Palmer. So provided I remember that, rather than have to bore you guys. Oh, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. All right. Who are we managing here, John? Should it be the Tigers or the Orioles? We'll just do the Orioles home team. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And then we'll auto play the others and yada, 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 yada. All right. So, and computer lineup, and let's do it. Double header. A double header. We did, Aaron. We did. All right. Welcome to Memorial Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland, where the Detroit Tigers will take on the Baltimore Orioles. So Mickey Lolich, 1-0. This will be his second start in the year with an ERA of 3. And Jim Palmer will be making his first start of the year. 59 degrees here in Baltimore with a wind speed of 3 miles per hour left to right. Yes, we did, Aaron. So we have a new game. We have a new drinking game here. Really, really wish I would have changed the colors here for the Orioles. Hard to see, but we're going to go with it. The Detroit Tigers. Yep, as Ernie would say it. And we got to turn manual off. And again, I've got to make sure everything is set, seasoned to taste, and it is. All right, let's look at the starting defense for the Baltimore Orioles of 1971, who would meet the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1971 World Series. In left field, Merv Rettenman. In center, one of the greats, truly one of the greats, Paul Blair. And in right field, the judge, Frank Robinson. At first base, Boog Powell. At second, Davey Johnson. At short, Mark Belanger. At third, another great one, of course, Brooks Robinson. And yeah, so is Boog Powell. Catching is Andy Etchebarren. And on the mound is Jim Palmer. Leading things off here, shortstop Ed Brinkman. So for Ed Brinkman, off to a 250 start on the year. And we aren't in modern baseball anymore, Toto, says Mick. There we go. Second start for Lolich in game 3. Yep, we aren't in modern baseball anymore. All right, here we go. Palmer deals. Brinkman swings. First pitch swinging, fly ball into right field. But nice play out there by Frank Robinson for the first out of the inning. Here's Dick McAuliffe now. McAuliffe off to a 333 start with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in for McAuliffe. Lefty in the box, Palmer with a 3-1 pitch, and Palmer loses McAuliffe. So he'll get down to first base, And so Palmer just missing there. All right, brings up Willie Horton. Willie Horton hitting 500 on the young season. He knocked in 20 or hit 22 home runs back in 1971 and hit it a 289 clip. Jim Palmer deals home, and that's just a strike one. So they were looking for McAuliffe, but he couldn't get a good jump. But how much of a threat is he to steal? As we say in Italian, mezzo mezz, huh? Palmer brings it 0-1 pitch, and there goes McAuliffe, and Andy Etchebarren is going to hold on to the ball. So credit McAuliffe as a stolen base just after I give him a so-so. Just noticed something from a simmed APC game. Computer took out a starter after 8 innings with a no-hitter. That sounds like Dwayne Martz. Dwayne Martz did that in a game. Whitey Ford had a no-hitter, and Dwayne hooked him. Jim DeShays. Wow, how about that? All right, Horton back in the box. 0-2 pitch and fly ball to center field. Paul Blair racing back, makes the catch, tagging a second, sliding into third. Is Dick McAuliffe. So yeah, I mean, I guess so. There's something that cards and dice guys can say. We would never make a play like that, pulling DeShays. So that's weird. That's a strange one indeed. All right, 2 down. McAuliffe just 90 feet away. Detroit looking to draw first blood. Here's Jim Northrup. He's off to a 375 start. In 1971, 16 home runs, 71 runs batted in. 270 average for him. Palmer winds and fires. 2-0 pitch. Actually, he doesn't pitch this from the stretch. And this one lined over third. Going to go all the way down to the corner. Northrup has himself at least an RBI double as McAuliffe is in to score. So the Tigers get one on the Jim Northrup RBI double, scoring Dick McAuliffe. All right, here's Al Kaline. He is not a very acidic person. There should be a checkbox option. Never pull a pitcher with a no-hitter. So I know with Action PC 20, with this newest version, you can do a lot more at the player level. But yeah, I think you're right that there should be an option. Maybe there is somewhere. I don't know. I've never thought to look. I never thought to look. But you're absolutely right. So anyhow, those of you who know your chemistry, there's Al Kaline, and he is hitting 250 home run and a run batted in, 294 for him in the real 1971, 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. 2 away, 1 in for Detroit, top of the first. Palmer deals full count to Kaline, and Kaline's going to have himself a base hit into left field. Coming around to scores, Jim Northrup. So seeing Jim Palmer here pretty well. Detroit plates 2 here in the top of the first. Here's Bill Freehan. So Freehan is 0 for 8 to start the season. Freehan in 1971 was 277, 21 homers, 71 runs batted in. Kaline on at first. Took out a starter with a no-no. Yeah, absolutely. That's a strange one. I have to look around and see. And there goes Al Kaline. And there he was. How base of him to try to steal. Sorry for the bad chemistry puns. But anyhow, the Detroit Tigers pick up 2 runs, 2 hits. There were no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. The Tigers 2, the Orioles coming to bat. Starting defense for the Detroit Tigers in left field, Willie Horton. In center, Mickey Stanley. And right, Al Kaline. At first, Jim Northrup. At second, Dick McAuliffe. Ed Brinkman at short, Aurelio Rodriguez at the hot corner. Bill Freehan catching it on the mound. Mickey Lolich, 1-0 on the year in the real 1971 for Mickey Lolich. 25 wins, 14 losses, 376 innings worked. So what a workhorse was he, right? Averaged 7.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Leading it off here, Merv Rettenman off to a 250 start with a run batted in. Hit 318 in 1971 with 11 homers, 75 runs batted in. Lefty Lolich deals 1-0 pitch, base hit into left field. Pass short, Willie Horton up with it, calling off Mickey Stanley. Gets the ball into Ed Brinkman. So Redmond aboard had 15 steals in 1971. So the Detroit Battery needs to keep a good eye on him. Here's Mark Belanger. Belanger hitting just 167 thus far on the season, but 266 in 1971 with no home runs, 35 runs batted in for Belanger. Lolich checks the runner, and there goes Redmond to throw down McAuliffe's tag, not in time, and Merv Redmond picks up a stolen base. So the Baltimore Orioles with the runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. Belanger back in the box, and the 0-1 pitch. And, well, we should not pay attention to the count because it's a batter by batter, but it sounds better. Anyhow, Belanger draws the walk. 2-1, nobody out for Boog Powell. 1 for 5 to start the season. 0 for 5 with a run scored to start the season. 256 average for Powell in 1971, 22 home runs, 92 runs batted in for him. Lolich has the sign, and Southpaw deals. 1-2 pitch. Powell swings, fly ball to right field. K-line in. McAuliffe out. McAuliffe will make the couch. So 1 away. I thought that was going a little further than it was. And here come the judge. So Frank Robinson thus far, 286 with an RBI. In 1971, 28 home runs for him, a 281 clip. Lolich brings it 0-2 pitch, and screaming liner up the middle, and Mickey Stanley making the grab out there in center field. So 2 down as Mickey Lolich will face Paul Blair. Expect to see great things from Paul Blair, as you always do in a baseball sim. So Paul Blair hitting just 143 to start the season. He's 1 for 7 overall. Had 10 home runs, 44 runs batted in, a 262 average in 1971. Lolich deals 0-2 pitch, and Paul Blair, 2-2 pitch, will swing and come up empty. So Lolich gets out of a jam. We go to the top of the second. Detroit leads Baltimore 2-0. And a little bit of American League action and the nightcap of a doubleheader. All right, we will have Bill Freehan, Aurelio Rodriguez, and Mickey Stanley due up for the Motor City Mullen Cats. Bill Freehan is 0 for 8. Freehan 277 average with 21 home runs and 71 runs batted in. Having trouble talking tonight. Must be the eye surgery. 1-1 pitch to Freehan. Bouncing ball, second base. Davey Johnson gloves it. And in one poetic motion that would make John Keats weep, on to Boog Powell for the 4-3 putout. 1 away now for Aurelio Rodriguez. Off to a 250 start here in our project. 253 average in 1971, 15 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Jim Palmer, 2-1 pitch. This one up the middle, ranging to his left is Belanger, on to Powell for the 6-3 putout. So 2 up, 2 down. And Clinton Park says 14 innings, pinch hitter Dwayne Josephson knocks in the winning run. Chicago White Sox 3-2 over the Minnesota Twins. Love the game updates, man. I love the game updates when you guys do those. Mickey Stanley now bats with 2 down. Mickey, a 250 start to the season. 292 average for Mickey in 1971. 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Jim Palmer winds and deals. 3-1 pitch behind Stanley and loses him. That one coming in just a bit outside, I think it was. Yep, just below the knees and outside. All right, here's Mickey Lolich now batting with 2 down. A 130 average from him. He's 1 for 1 with a run score, though, in the project. But hit 130 back in 1971. 7 runs batted in. All right. Switch hitter, lefty against Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer sets and deals. And the throw down, and they got Mickey. No, they did not. Mickey Stanley dives back in. Good quick throw by Andy Etchebarren trying to catch Mickey Stanley napping. All right, let's wind it up. Do it again. And Mickey Lolich, cut and a miss. Strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers lead the Orioles 2-0. All right, and here we are. We got Brooks Robinson, Davey Johnson, and Andy Etchebarren due up for the 1971 O's. Brooks Robinson already with a home run and hitting 250 in this project. 272 average in 71 with 20 home runs and 92 runs batted in. 1-0 pitch, and Brooks sends this to third. Aurelio Rodriguez up with it. Throw across the diamond. Jim Northrup has to dig it out, and that is going to be an error on Aurelio Rodriguez. And on the play, Brooks Robinson will move to second. So Jim Northrup having to chase that all the way, and it's bouncing off the tarp over there in foul territory on the first base side. 3-2. So Ken Castro comes in with his update. He actually had a normal game after the one he did earlier. To 19-2 was that other one? Something like that, was it? So a 3-2. He had a normal game this time. Oh man, if you would have had a second one, I would say maybe you ought to roll up some hockey or something for a little while. But that's good. Yeah, 3-2. Gotta love that. All right, here's Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson off to a 333 start, a 282 average, though, in 1971, 18 home runs, 72 runs batted in. 19-2 was the other one with 23 hits. Never-ending game. 2-0 pitch, and fly ball out to right field. K-Line racing over toward his right, calls off Mickey Stanley and makes the running catch for out number one. Again, Ken, those long games, if you've ever read the book, The Iowa Baseball Confederacy, by W.P. Kinsella, that's what those games are like. All right, Andy Etchebarren, making his first plate appearance of the season, hit 270 back in 1971, had 9 dingers, 29 ribbies. Lolich deals with the runner in scoring position, 1-0 pitch, and fly ball into center field. Mickey Stanley has it easily. 2 up, 2 down, or I'm sorry, not 2 up, 2 down, but 2 down. And we're down to Jim Palmer now. So Palmer in 1971 hit 196. He actually stole a base and had a double. So there we go. 1-1 pitch. Palmer swings, base hit into right field. Coming around will be Brooks Robinson, and Jim Palmer with the RBI single will get the Orioles on the board. It's 2-1. Yes, 'tis a great book. And Box Socials is another one. Oh, absolutely. All good stuff. So W.B. Kinsella, the man who wrote Shoeless Joe Jackson Comes to Iowa, that made it into a rather sort of nifty movie. But then, yeah, the Iowa Baseball Confederacy, Box Socials, great stuff. Great stuff. The Iowa Baseball Confederacy is it's a very sort of a trippy book. It's really good. It's about this baseball game that kind of transcends time. It never ends. But there's like this, just like in Kinsella's other books, there's a much deeper narrative in which baseball actually serves as the backdrop. Highly recommend both that and Box Socials by W.P. Kinsella. All right, so now let's see if the Irish Bastard will be after paying me a bit of a percentage there. All right, brings up Merv Rettenman now. We're back at the top of the order. So he's 1 for 1 with a stolen base. 2 down here, and Jim Palmer on at first. Lolich deals 1-0 pitch to Rettenman. This is going to be a bounding ball. Brinkman at short, and bang play. They do just get the speedy Merv Rettenman. So 1 run on 1 hit, the Jim Palmer RBI single. There was an error. 2 in the books here in Baltimore, and the Tigers lead the Orioles 2-1. And we're back at the top of the order for the Tigers. Brinkman, McAuliffe, and Horton due up. Ed Brinkman flew out to deep right center last time up. Palmer has the sign from Etchebarren. The wind, 0-2 pitch. Brinkman skies this one center field and buckling under the wind, but Paul Blair stays with it. So there we go. 1 away now. Here's Dick McAuliffe. Walked back in the first. Palmer with the delivery. 0-1 pitch up the middle. Davey Johnson stops, ranging to his right. Quick snap on to Boog Powell. Score that one 4-3. 2 up, 2 down for Detroit here in the top of the third inning. And here's Willie Horton now. Flew out to deep center his last time up. Palmer, 0-2 delivery. And Willie Horton, a futile wave and a miss. And that will be the second strikeout for Mr. Palmer. We go to the bottom of the third inning. The score remains the Tigers 2 and the Orioles 1. And it'll be Mark Belanger, Boog Powell, And Frank Robinson, the 2-3-4 hitters, due up. Lolich deals to Belanger. Belanger to Hopper to Dick McAuliffe. On to Jim Northrup. One up, one down. Here's Boog Powell. Popped to second back in the first. Lolich brings home the 0-2 pitch and soft liner out the K line in right field, and he'll bring it down for out number 2. Here's the judge now, line to center back in the first. Lolich from the set, and Frank Robinson, big cut and a miss, swinging from the heels. So the Baltimore Orioles go quietly. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Still no change, 2-1 in favor of the Detroit Tigers. And it will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up: Northrup, Kaline, and Freehan. RBI double for Jim Northrup back in the first, scoring Dick McAuliffe, giving Detroit at that time a 1-0 lead. Palmer deals 0-2 pitch. Northrup fly ball center field. Paul Blair on his horse to his left and makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 down now for Al Kaline. So we're never going to have a drinking game for Paul Blair because he makes great plays all the time. All right, Etchebarren sets the target. Jim Palmer deals. Kaline with a single, RBI single that scored Jim Northrup that gave Detroit its second run. 2-1 is your score. And Jim Palmer on 4 straight walks Al Kaline. Third walk issued by Jim Palmer brings up Bill Freehan, 0-for-1, grounded to second. So these Orioles looking to turn 2 here. 1-2 pitch. Freehan swings, and they're not going to do it. Base hit, right field, going all the way to the wall. Kaline will come around to score. Freehan going for 3 to slide the tag, and RBI triple by Bill Freehan. And these Tigers now with another claw out. It's 3-1 over the Orioles. All right, here's Aurelio Rodriguez, and Brooks Robinson looking down at the youngster who had an error earlier, just kind of smiling, saying, well, Aurelio Rodriguez grounded to short his last time up. Freehan on third, just 1 away. Palmer getting touched up here a little bit. Here's the pitch. Rodriguez, first pitch swinging, fly ball, center field. Blair back and to his left, makes the catch, tagging at third, and trotting home with run number 4 is Bill Freehan. So the Tigers putting 2 across here in the 4th inning. Brings up Mickey Stanley batting with 2 down and the base is empty. Mickey drew a walk back in the second. Palmer, 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Past a sort of leaping Boog Powell, we'll put it that way. All right. Frank Robinson never makes poor plays, so stop it. All right. Mickey Lolich is 0-for-1. And the pitch. And Lolich, base hit into left field. Look at that. Mickey Stanley will make third on the play. So each pitcher trying to help his own cause. And we're back at the top of the order for the Detroit Tigers. And here's the shortstop, Ed Brinkman. He's flown out twice. Palmer works out of the stretch, 1-2 pitch, and Jim Palmer hits Ed Brinkman, and that loads him up. So Jim Palmer is surrounded by Tigers and brings up Dick McAuliffe. Again, 0-for-1 with a steal. He walked back in the first. And a 1 pitch, McAuliffe swings. This should end the inning. Lord Willen and the Creekstone rise, and indeed Davy Johnson will make that play. But the Detroit Tigers pick up 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Tigers lead the Orioles 4-1. Paul Blair, Brooks Robinson, and Davy Johnson due up for the Birds of the Inner Harbor. Paul Blair in the game, 0-for-1, struck out last time up. 2-2 pitch in there. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right, here's Brooksy now. Brooks Robinson was safe on an error by Aurelio Rodriguez back in the second. Lolich deals, full count, base hit, left field, past a diving Ed Brinkman into left field, and Brooksy aboard at first. All right, Davy Johnson flew out to deep right last time. Lolich checks the runner 2-1 pitch. And Davy Johnson backing up on a Brinkman to McAuliffe, but they're not going to turn two. Late relay throw. So 2 down, and Davy Johnson aboard at first. Here's Andy Etchebarren. Flew out to shallow center back in the second inning. Lolich deals. Etchebarren swinging on the first pitch. Liner to left, but Willie Horton stays with it and picks it 4 out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 4 in the books here in Baltimore. The Detroit Tigers leading this one 4-1. And it would be Willie Horton, Jim Northrup, Al Kaline due up for the Tigers. Willie Horton struck out his last time up. Jim Palmer 0-2 pitch. Willie Horton strikes out this time up as well on a fastball. Little four-seam job there, I think, by Jim Palmer. Brings up Jim Northrup now. He's 1 for 2, including an RBI double back in the first. 3-1 pitch behind Northrup. Northrup draws the walk. So Northrup on the base paths twice today now, and here is the non-acidic Al Kaline. He is 1 for 1 and a walk. 0-2 pitch. Kaline swings, pop fly, third base side, and Belanger calling for it, makes the catch in foul territory, third base side. 2 away. Northrup hanging on to first base. Bill Freehan 1 for 2. Big triple back in the fourth. Palmer deals 3-1 pitch. Freehan up the middle. Great stop by Belanger. Going the short route to Davy Johnson. That does it for the Detroit Tigers. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Detroit leads this one 4-1. Jim Palmer leads things off here for Baltimore, and then we go back to the top of the order for Rettenmund and Belanger. Jim Palmer, RBI single back in the second, so responsible for the lone run for these Baltimore Orioles. Lolich winds 1-1 pitch, and Jim Palmer. Oh, Dick McAuliffe was a little bit too cavalier on that ball. Short hops him, has it. But jiggles it around a bit in his glove, his hand, kicks it up by Spikes, bounced it off his cap, and then by that time, Jim Palmer is aboard. So score that one, E4. So Nathaniel coming back and saying anytime. So Ken thanking Nathaniel for the good stuff there. And phone just starts. So welcome back, Nathaniel. All right. Merv Rettenmund 1 for 2, back at the top of the order for the Baltimore Orioles. Mickey Lolich deals 0-1 pitch, fly ball. Mickey Stanley back, and he gloves it for out number 1. So they don't have not a lot to cheer about here today at Memorial Stadium. Brings up Mark Belanger now. Belanger is 0 for 1 with a walk. Mickey Lolich 2-2 pitch. In there, Belanger lunging and coming up empty. So out number 2, Jim Palmer remains at first for Boog Powell. Powell swings in the first pitch. This should end the inning. Brinkman fields it at short, and he's going to go to first, but maybe not. No. Oh, my goodness. Boog Powell with an infield single. Pretty amazing. Stick Tap Sports Network says, while listening in, he knocked out a game from his 1982 replays. The Athletics walk it off on a 2-out, 2-run homer by Tony Armas in the bottom of the ninth. A's win 2-1 over the Angels. Exciting stuff, man. Good. So what do you do in your replaying again, Stick Tap? What engine are you using? What game? What Spiel? What Spiel? 2 on. So that's good stuff. Gotta love those. And 2 outs, right? Bottom of the ninth. That's the best. Boom. There it goes. Frank Robinson does nothing for 2. 2 on, 2 away. Mickey Lolich deals. And fly ball. And Stanley going to his left. Kaline to his right. Mickey Stanley calls him off. And that does it. So the Orioles don't get it done this time. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and it is still Detroit 4 and Baltimore 1. 1982, good season. Aurelio Rodriguez leading things off here for the Tigers, followed by Mickey Stanley and Mickey Lolich. So sac fly back in the fourth has scored Bill Freehan to give Detroit its fourth run. Palmer deals 0-2 pitch. Rodriguez cut on and missed on a fastball. So 1 out, fourth strikeout dealt by Mr. Jim Palmer. And Mickey Stanley now in the box. Walking a single for Mickey. Palmer with the 0-2 pitch. Bounding ball to second. Davey Johnson makes a good stop out there. We're not going to go so far as to call it a great play, but a very good play for the 4-3 put out. And 2 down. Here's Mickey Lolich now. Singled his last time up. Palmer brings it. Count even at 2. And Mickey Lolich. This one, beautiful strike in there at the belt that win. The inning, 5th strikeout for Jim Palmer. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Memorial Stadium. And it's 4-1 Tigers. Oh, Modi Engine replay. Okay, so pocket pennant run, status pro, season ticket, national pastime, next generation plus, and payoff pitch. So this one was in pocket pennant run. Awesome. So though the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different engines to do the replay. Whew. I'm lucky I can keep track of one. That's great stuff. So I'm glad to see pocket pennant run getting a little bit of love. And all excellent games, by the way. So there was a rumor, and I haven't looked to see, that National Pastime Next Generation Plus, is that going away? Because I know I guess it was last week. It was around New Year's Day or something. And people were here hanging out in the family room, and it keeps you interested. All right. Fair enough there, Stick Tap Sports Network. It keeps them interested. People were downloading National Pastime Next Generation Plus like crazy. So is that like going away forever or what? There was like rumors swirling about whether it was just going away or whether they're going to change the site. Apparently there was going to be some sort of big announcement that was going to be made. So inquiring minds do want to know. All right, Paul Blair has whiffed twice. Mickey Lolich ready to work. Bottom of the 6th inning here, second game of a doubleheader. And on an 0-1 pitch, routine fly ball out to center field, and Willie Horton comes in and makes the grab. So 1 away now for Brooks Robinson. Robinson was safe in an error back in the second and a single back in the fourth. Dig into the box now, legendary third baseman. In any conversation about great third baseman all time in the game, you have to include Brooks Robinson in that conversation. Okay, so it's a different website. All right. Well, hopefully they have pointed to it in that. So it's on Ron Bernier's website. So he's now maintaining it. Bill Staffel will still be doing the cards. Only mistake Ron had made was he didn't download the 1908 cards into his website. Oops. Hopefully they can be recovered. The greatest season in dead ball, perhaps the greatest season in baseball history. Certainly top 3, if not the greatest. And Clint, you're doing a 1908 replay, I believe, right now too, right? All right. Here's the pitch. 1-0. Brooks Robinson cuts on this one. Jim Northrup juggles the ball. And that'll be another error. Third error committed by the Detroit Tigers in this game. So Brooks Robinson is aboard. So if not, you do have 1908. Okay. Hopefully they get that back up there. But I know you've praised that game for quite a while. And those are a couple big names behind National Pastime Next Generation Plus. That is a mouthful to say, certainly. So you have 1908 in 3 different platforms. So you're covered. You're good. All right, here's Davey Johnson now batting with 1 away. And let's see, Davey Johnson grounded to short back in the 4th inning. Brooks Robinson on at first, 4-1 Detroit lead. Lolich brings it home, 0-1 pitch. And this one is going to go Northrup to Brinkman. but there will be just late relays. So unable to turn two down. Davy Johnson on at first for Andy Etchebarren. Etchebarren lined to left back in the fourth. Baltimore trying to get something going here. And, it hit the runner. Bad break there. Bad break for the Baltimore Orioles. Jeez. Anyhow, so Davy Johnson out as the ball gives him a good smackaroonie there down on the calf. So we head to the top of the seventh inning. Detroit still leads Baltimore 4-1. Let's look at the line for Baltimore. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors thus far with 5 men left on. So another addition there. Good stuff. For the Baltimore Orioles, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, 7 left on. Okay, it'll be Ed Brinkman, top of the order, Dick McAuliffe, and Willie Horton. Hit by a pitch, Jim Palmer back in the fourth was Ed Brinkman. Brinkman swinging on the first pitch. This one up the middle, ranging to his left, is Mark Belanger up and over to Boog Powell for the 6-3 putout. So 1 up, 1 down here for Detroit in the top of the seventh inning. Dick McAuliffe is 0 for 2 and a walk. Palmer deals. McAuliffe swings. Base hit into right field past Boog Powell. McAuliffe makes the turn and holds at first. So 6th hit for the Detroit Tigers brings up Willie Horton. Big slugger, 0 for 3s, whiffed twice. So Palmer, thus far, having Willie Horton's number. Comes to the belt, glances at the runner, brings it home. 3-1 pitch. Willie Horton connects. This one, liner to left. This will get down for a base hit. And they're going to make McAuliffe stop at second. So the Tigers now with 2 on here in the top of the seventh inning. And brings up Jim Northrup. And in this game, RBI double way back in the first, walked back in the fourth. Palmer brings it home. 0-1 pitch and fly ball to right field. Robinson tracking it back and on the track makes the grab. McAuliffe will tag and move to third on the play as the throw comes in and hits the cutoff man. Never seen an action PC infield with 3 10s. How about it? All right, runners at the corners now, and here's Al Kaline. He is 1 for 2. Last time up, popped to short. Tigers looking for more. 3-run lead here in the top of the seventh. 4-1 your score. Palmer brings it from the stretch. Kaline bouncer to short. Belanger is going to go to first. Powell has it, and that will take care of the Detroit Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. It is 4-1 Detroit. 7th inning stretch. Sing along. Stick tap, just making me feel even more like an intellectual midget. No, seriously, this is cool. He says, "Oh yeah, Sports Illustrated Baseball is the 6th engine in the replay. He uses Digital Diamond board game companion to record the games. So 6 engines. Whew, my brain would explode." You and Ken Castro and Mike Silva. Ken talked about his 2020 project today, multi-engine. So I guess that's the thing now is everybody's like jumping on the multi-engine thing, and just going to have to leave me on the short bus, gentlemen, I guess. You guys that were here earlier today, you saw what I was just trying to do with Strat in Action PC. Wow. What an MGF that was. All right, Jim Palmer leading it off here for the Baltimore Orioles in the bottom of the 7th. He's been on base twice today. RBI single in the 2nd and safe on an error in the 5th. All right, Mickey Lulich winds and fires. No, he will not. Well, he will, but he's got to wait because it looks like Kurt Motton will come on to pinch hit now. Jim Palmer's day is done. We'll talk about Motton if he gets on. Fly ball to right field. This one is high and deep. K-line looks up and it's gone. Kurt Motton comes on to pinch hit and goes yard. Let's look at his numbers. So, maybe not an impressive start, at least till today for the season, but limited playing time in 1971 for the Orioles, with 38 games, 4 home runs, or 38 games, 53 at bats, 4 homers, 8 ribbies for Motton, and goes yard here. So the Orioles cut the lead in half. Back at the top of the order now for Merv Rettenman. Mickey Lolich deals 0-1 pitch. Rettenman connects. This one is deep. Stanley back. It's off the wall. Rettenman will stop at second. So back-to-back extra base hits, a homer, and now a double. And Mickey Lolich, who was in cruise control, holding the Baltimore Orioles to just 1 run. And that was back in the bottom of the second. And that was that run, again, due to the Jim Palmer RBI single. And now here we go, making it a ball game. They are. Ken Castro says Modi Engine does help mentally in the long grind of a full team or a full league replay. I could imagine so. John says we got ourselves a ball game. It does, because I mean, right? I would think what because you get into that mid-season grind, and especially rolling up the way you guys are doing. Whew. All right, so Mark Belanger up there now. Lolich deals 2-1 pitch. Belanger, and this one, a little ground ball base hit. And Rettenman will round third and hold right there. Runners at the corners, nobody out. The Orioles have shown up now to play some baseball. Infield single for Boog Powell back in the fifth. 2 on, 4-2 your score. Tying run on at first. Lolich brings it. Wait, Freehand out to have a quick word with him. Back behind the dish. Here's the pitch. Powell swings. Grounder to second. McAuliffe will go to Brinkman. On to Jim Northrup. So they will turn 2, but Merv Rettenman will come in to score, and the Orioles are within 1. It's 4-3. Helps with the dog days for sure, says Stick Tap Sports Network. All right, here's Frank Robinson. So Frank Robinson, 0 for 3. So a chance for him to come through big time here. Bases empty. Lolich deals. And this one, ground ball, base hit into left field. So Frank Robinson aboard, and all of a sudden the Orioles out hitting the Tigers now, 9-7. All right, Paul Blair now bats with 2 down, 0 for 3 at the plate. Lolich brings it home. Blair swings up the middle, base hit. And Frank Robinson will cut second, and he will get into third as Ed Brinkman cuts it off. Runners at the corners, as Nathaniel says, he's got to get some sleep. He's going near Chicago tomorrow. Sleep well and drive safely, Nathaniel. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you today for 2 broadcasts, buddy. And next time I see you on here, I'll tell you what, guys, moderators, before you do the kick, you have my permission to play with little Billy Patterson, who was in here before. So I booted him the other night, but please have fun. I want you to have fun. You have complete license on my part to have fun with this little boy here. Okay, I'll leave it to you, mods, tonight. And at any time, boot him, but at least dick with him for a little while, if you would. Thank you. All right, because he doesn't understand things like, being social. He's just William Patterson, and he's a tough boy. All right, Patterson Patterson is going to be out of the chat soon, but Robinson at third. All right, Brooks Robinson has grounded out 3 times. And Lolich from the stretch, and the 1-2 pitch, and Brooks Robinson comes up empty. But the Baltimore Orioles, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. When we go to the top of the 8th inning, it's the Tigers 4 and the Orioles 3. And on to pitch now will be Boswell, and we'll give you his numbers. Fly ball out to center field. Paul Blair hasn't measured up. 1 away. Dave Boswell, 4.38 earned run average for him in 1971. 1 win, 2 losses, 24 and 2/3 innings pitched. All right. Here's Aurelio Rodriguez now batting with one away. Rodriguez struck out. He does have a sacrifice back in the fourth that scored Bill Freehan. So 4-3, your score here, Detroit over Baltimore in the top of the eighth inning. Boswell deals 1-2 pitch, and that one, big swing and a miss by Aurelio Rodriguez. Nothing but air. So two down, and Mickey Stanley up there now. 1 for 2 in the game. Boswell deals 2-1 pitch, ground ball, pass short into left, base hit. Mickey Stanley will make the turn at first and hold there. So two down, and here's Mickey Lolich, and I think he'll probably nope, he's going to hit for himself. And Lolich up the middle. No, great stop there. Out of second by Davy Johnson. Quick snap to Boog Powell, and that will be it. No runs, one hit, no errors. And we've played 7.5 here in Baltimore. Detroit 4 and Baltimore 3. And Ike Brown will come in to play first base for the Detroit Tigers. All right. All right. And let's just there we go. All right. So Jagoff dealt with. Yeah. Friends Fody looks about 65, seems like a lonely fellow, needs friends. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all right. I mean, that's cool. He wants to come in and Fafo. That's all right. That is all right. I have a feeling I know where this Jagoff comes from, by the way, too. I have a real strong feeling I know where that Jagoff comes from. I'll leave it at that for right now. All right. So, William Patterson, go have yourself I don't know, go watch a JOI video or something like that and have fun. All right. Davy Johnson leading things off here in the bottom of the eighth inning. And Davy Johnson has grounded out twice and has flown out. Mickey Lolich staying in there. So Detroit having a lot of faith here in its starter. 0-2 pitch and well placed, I would say. So fastball hitting the inside corner, and that will be the sixth strikeout for Mickey. Here's Andy Etchebarren now. He hit a single back in the sixth that, of course, unfortunately for Baltimore, hits Davy Johnson for the third out. Here's the pitch. Etchebarren swings in the first pitch, fly ball to left, and coming down into the glove of Willie Horton. 2 up, 2 down for Baltimore here, and Dave Boswell will not be hitting for himself. Jerry Devanin will come in to pinch hit. Lolich deals to Devanin, and room service bounce to Ed Brinkman is short, sets and fires on to Ike Brown for the 6-3 putout. So nothing across for the Baltimore Orioles. We go to the top of the ninth. Detroit holding on to this 4-3 lead. Coming on to pitch here is going to be Jackson off the mound and over to Powell. So 1-3 putout. So Grant Jackson, a 3.13 earned run average, 4 wins, 3 losses for him in 1971, averaged 5.9 strikeouts per game. When we go to the Baltimore ninth, it'll be the top of the order, Rettenmund, Belanger, and Powell. All right, here's Dick McAuliffe now. He is 1 for 3. I wish old Billy Patterson, I wish he had a channel. I'm going to go visit him. I want to hang out in William Patterson 8's YouTube channel. I do, man. 1-2 pitch to McAuliffe. Fly ball, right field. This one's got some distance. Robinson back on the track, makes the grab. So 2 up, 2 down. Willie Horton, 1 for 4, finally able to scratch out a single back in the seventh. Jackson brings it home. Horton is going to have another base hit. Second hit for Horton in the game, and hit number 9 for the Detroit Tigers. I visited his channel. No vids. Damn it. It's too bad because I wanted to leave a comment. I wanted to talk about his erstwhile baseball scholarship, his deep, incisive study of, of modern socioeconomic, economic, political events, and just like why he's such a chick magnet. Now I feel badly. So William Patterson, please put up a video, even if it's about me. Put it up. Say Beatles Eternally talks too much. I'd love to join you, get you on the mic here, old Bill Patterson. Yes, I would. If you have the stones to come on, we'll treat you well. We certainly will. Mm-hmm. All right, Ike Brown making his first appearance in the game here, and indeed his first of the season. But in 1971, he hit 255 with 8 home runs and 19 runs batted in. 2-2 pitch on the way. Ike Brown laces this one into left, and taking it on the bounce there is Merv Rettenman, and Willie Horton is at second, and Willie Horton is going for 3. Throw hits the cutoff man. Runners at the corners. The Tigers just relentless here. 1 for 3, Al Kaline. He has popped a short, grounded short, singled, and walked. From the stretch, Kaline sends us out. Paul Blair should have this for out number 3, and he does. We go to the bottom of the ninth here in Baltimore, Maryland. The Tigers leading the Orioles 4-3, and it'll be the top of the order. Merv Rettenman, Mark Belanger, and Boog Powell. Rettenman had a good day today at the plate, single and a double. Lolich deals 1-0 pitch, fly ball. This one has distance. Horton back, and this one's off the wall. Merv Rettenman now with his second double in the game. So the tying run in scoring position for the 1971 Baltimore Orioles here in the bottom of the ninth inning brings up Mark Belanger. Singled his last time up, walked in this game also. Lolich brings it home. Belanger swings. This one tapper to left of the mound. Lolich quickly, and they do just get Belanger, but on the play, the tying run moves to third. Brings up Boog Powell. And Mickey Lolich right now in a little bit of trouble. Powell last time grounded into a double play, but Merv Rettenman able to score. Infield playing in, looking to cut off Rettenman at the plate. Mickey Lolich from the stretch. 2-0 pitch and tapped on. Ike Brown has it. And they look Rettenman back. So 2 down. And the Tigers still holding their breath here as Frank Robinson comes aboard here. All right, Robinson 1 for 4 in the game, single to left. Lolich from the stretch and swung on. This should be the ball game. Fly ball center field. Mickey Stanley has it, and the Detroit Tigers hold on. Good close ball game here. They take this one from the Baltimore Orioles, and they remain undefeated. So let's look at the line score here. And William Patterson, because he is so besotted with me, maybe he can look in the comments next time around, and he can just catch the end of the game. All right, so Detroit improved. Yeah, Orioles blew it. John, how about it? Detroit improves to 3-0, 4 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. So despite 3 errors, Detroit or Baltimore tried to make a game of it, but faded. But I thought with that 2-run seventh, they were going to start busting it open. But 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Baltimore Orioles. Mickey Lolich goes to 2 wins, no losses. Jim Palmer gets his first loss of the season at 0-1. Let's look about here because we had a triple by Bill Freehan. So we always love triples. Mickey Lolich gets the win, a complete game win. Gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned, a home run, walked 1, fan 6, begins the season with a 2.50 earned run average. Detroit overall with a 1.67 earned run average early in the season. Jim Palmer, 7 innings worked, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 4, struck out 5. His ERA now at 5.14. Boswell worked an inning in relief, struck out 1, and Grant Jackson gave up 2 hits. All right, so player of the game is Mickey Lolich. And Bill Freehan, 1 for 4 with the triple for the Tigers, and a losing cause for the Baltimore Orioles. Kurt Motton came in as a pinch hitter and hit that solo shot. Merv Rettenman, you know what? Even though I'm going to disagree with the game here, though it gives it to Mickey Lolich. though it's a losing cause, we're actually going to give player of the game to Merv Retmund of the Baltimore Orioles, who went 3 for 5 today with 2 doubles. So there we go. Is Bill still with us? Bill. Bill. Bill is still with us, man. It brings a tear to me eye. It brings a tear to me eye. We could all sit around and let's talk to Bill for a while. Hi, Bill. How you doing? How's mom? Mom doing all right? Yeah, good, 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 good. All right. Did he? Aw, that's nice. That's nice. That's good. That's good. Bill, he's a clever man. He's a clever man, is old William Patterson. Yes, he is. Hmm. So, any of you want to drop the complete band hammer? You may do so, because let's face it, you know, gets old. So yeah, dude's definitely a plant. I think it's somebody else in the community dicking around. We haven't had anybody fucking around here in a long, long time, and I have a suspicion I know who this guy's connected with. So timing, you guys got. I mean, dude, if you're gonna come in and fuck around, at least be creative. Hang around a little bit. You come in and you make a shit comment. You come in and you make a shit comment, Bill. So if none of my guys have whacked you yet, look, be smart, come in, interact, right? People will think you are right. Then you do something stupid. And at least then you buy yourself some time to show that in fact you're a brilliant man. Because you probably are a brilliant man, William Patterson, ain't? Yeah? Yeah. So anyhow, I wear the moniker with pride. So we're not going to autoplay. We're going to autoplay a couple of these. So next time we're back. But that's pretty much it, guys. Had a lot of fun. Thank you for coming in. We want to thank William Patterson for offering such support. And William, we'll see you again in 24 hours, probably. Or, other kind of tricks that you could do. What a sad existence that must be for you, though. I feel bad for him, right? Because what if he's struggling? He's just had a prefrontal lobotomy, right? What if he's dealing with that, right? Or I don't know, perhaps the man has a bad case of maybe he's got, I don't know, some sort of bubonic plague or something. So William Patterson, we do wish you a speedy recovery from one and all here. Yeah. Chatter of the Game does indeed go to William Patterson. I'm going to knock up a plaque for him, as a matter of fact. For his brilliant, his incisive, his erudite baseball scholarship. Gotta love William Patterson. And someday William and I will meet. I'm sure we will. So Todd B says he's telling Ken that he's off to a baseball card show tomorrow. Sounds like fun. Todd, of course, looking for the Hannes Wagner T206 card, the Mickey Mantle rookie card. So Todd will come back with those, and we'll all be out of our isolation tanks by then. So he's going to be looking around in 25 boxes. You never know. You never know what you might find, my friend. You never know. So part of Super Bowl Sunday Baseball Spectacular, we're going to dedicate an inning to William Patterson. So if William Patterson comes in on that day, moderators, I'll ask you to please not whack him, at least right away. We want him to take part in the festivities. I want to get a better sense of his lexicon, right? Jesse Ashpool, the Baltimore News Babe Ruth rookie card. There you go. Todd, hey, there was a guy some years ago that went to a Salvation Army, I think it was, and bought a fragment of a map for $3. Turned out to be a part of the map that Napoleon had used at Waterloo. So you never know. Patterson needs a hug from Annabelle doll. He does. So, uh, I again, he will be certainly welcome here with open claws, open arms, on the Super Bowl Sunday Spectacular. William Patterson will be looking for you. We will be looking for you, pal. Believe me, we'll be looking for you. Okay. I'm even giving you a chance to make another name and come on right now. I'll stay on for a few minutes and see. I'm always up for a good fight or a good conversation. That's up to you, pal. So this shit started the other night because guy came in. Why don't you leave the instruction to the game developers? Well, dickhead, for one thing, the game developers tend not to come on too many baseball streams to, you know, give instructions, tell people how to play the game. This is called a family bill. Maybe you don't get it. Again, maybe you're a very lonely man. I don't know. I don't know what your deal is, pal. Hemorrhoids could be. But so that's it. So I was in a bad mood the other night and knocked him out quickly. But now it's time to just play. So we'll just wait. John says he collected a few years ago and pulled through rookie Otani's now worth some good money. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So 16 here. And I think we had a good time tonight. So the Buccos get defeated by the Braves, and the Tigers take down the Orioles as we continue through 1971. So Todd says that his wife loves the Conjuring movies. I watched one last night. Always tell her that Annabelle doll just needs a hug. Yep. Yeah, we can hang in. Yeah, we're hanging for a bit. Absolutely. It's all good. We'll get down to the hardcores here. It's all fine and dandy. Boy, you know what? There's some good games here, but I don't want to be playing this forever. So let's go ahead and just autoplay everything because all these pitchers will meet again. It is just April. All right, Yankees and Senators. And Yankees blank the Senators 8-0. Stottlemyre with the win, Thompson with the loss. Ron Blomberg goes 1 for 4 with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Always got to check it to make sure you don't miss a no hitter. This is a 3-hit shutout. And let's see. So, and Stottlemyre with a complete game shutout for him and struck out 4. Okay. So Senators at 1-3, the Yankees at 2-1 here in 1971. Reds and Mets. So Nolan and Koosman. This would be a good matchup. We'll see that again another time. The Reds edge the Mets 3-2. Nolan with the win, Koosman with the loss. Clay Carroll gets the save in that one. All right, here we go. Minnesota and Chicago. Jim Perry and Tommy John. And Minnesota takes this one 4-3. So, and Williams coming in and getting the save. All right, Kansas City, Oakland, Dalcanton versus Segui. And the Royals edge the A's 2-1. Abernathy with the win, Knowles with the loss. Freddie Patek went yard in this game, so 1-for-4. Expos and the Phillies. The Expos are 1-1. Phillies 0-2. And the Philadelphia Phillies are now 0-3. Montreal. So Stoneman gets the win. Jim Bunning takes the loss. Ron Fairley goes 2-for-3, has his second home run of the game, and 2 RBI. Red Sox and the Indians. Kuntz versus Hargan. And this was a 10-inning affair. This would have been a hell of a good game. Red Sox edge the Cleveland Indians 7-6. Bowling gets the win, and Gorey takes the loss. Captain Carl 2-for-5 with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in for Yastrzemski. Cubs Astros. So Fergie Jenkins, Larry Durker. And Cubbies over the Astros 5-1 in 11 innings. So we'll look at the box score of that one. Jenkins with the win. Gladding takes the loss. Jim Hickman goes 3-for-5 with 2 home runs and 2 runs batted in. Let's look at that box score. See what happened. So in the 11th inning, the Cubbies scoring 4. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Ernie Banks with had a 3-run homer in that game. But Jim Hickman just lighting it up big time here for Chicago. And but Fergie Jenkins getting the MVP. It seems like Action PC early in the season likes to give the MVP to the pitchers. Tessie Ashpool says, random question that he asks in a lot of sports. I know you have a great knowledge of the history of baseball. Well, meh, but recency bias. Where would you rank Otani all time? Is it too early to do? I don't think it's too early to rank him as among the all-time greats. I really do believe that about Shohei Otani, and it's pretty scary. He's got some years left. He is like Babe Ruth incarnated, right? Better physique, obviously. Um, but yeah, I really do. I think that Otani, God forbid, unless there's some career-ending injury or something that happens to him that way or something. Otani, I greatest player in the game today, at least arguably. Definite first ballot Hall of Fame, John. I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. So Otani's name, definitely, and I mean, I think a lot of it too. With the way Hall of Fame works, you look at this yeah, a gambling scandal, right? Yikes. But God, his that postseason performance, just if anything, that's going to lock it in. Huh? But not that I don't think there's any doubt before. Fantastic player, fantastic player. I was rooting for Toronto in that World Series, but man, that Otani, just incredible. Back to back home runs and strikes out 10. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. All right, Pirates and Braves. Steve Blass taking the hill for my Buccos. And the Pirates defeat the Braves 5-3. Blast with the win, Negro with the loss. And Mazeroski goes 2 for 3. We've already played Detroit and Baltimore. Giants and the Cardinals. The Giants off to an 0-3 start. The Cardinals at 1-1. Reberger versus Royce. And the Giants edge the Cardinals. Got a lot of edge play going on here. 4-3. The Giants take this one. Hamilton with the win. Drabowski with the loss. Fuentes goes 3 for 5 with the double. Angels and Brewers. And California takes this one and remains undefeated. 9-4. They take care. And the Milwaukee Brewers looking for their first win. Right with the win. Lockwood with the loss. McMullen 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Finally, Padres and the Dodgers. Roberts versus Osteen. And Padres 5-3. Haller goes 2 for 4 with a home run. Looking at this, no, we're not going to look at the standings. What we're going to do to speed up this project, actually, is this. We are going to go ahead and play out April and get it out of the way. All right, so boom, boom. Yep, there we go. There. And let's not play through May 28th. Rather, let's play through April 30th. There we go. Let's let this play. No, I checked day before yesterday, Todd, but and going in for eye surgery yesterday, so I didn't really look. But I know it's going to be starting really soon because one of the devs made a suggestion about an enhancement that's going to be coming to the game. But testing should be starting pretty soon, if it hasn't already. So I do need to go and check in. All right, letting things play here. Cards and dice guys are saying, I don't do that stuff. Right? Ken, you're not an autoplay guy, right? Enhancement, don't arouse Todd. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Do we have any dog fights going on here? Again, pretty tight here, pretty tight. San Francisco better start moving here, though. They're 4-7 now. Baltimore in last place. Yikes. But again, we're just in April, so don't arouse Todd. Start looking at some. Yeah, Ken says autoplay. What's that? Isn't that when you watch a JOI movie without any sort of accoutrement, cousin Ken? Is that what it is? All right, here we go. See, I learn all these. I learn all these abbreviations from you guys. So there you go. Being a good Orthodox, I never knew these words before. So till I joined this, till I joined this community, man, I was innocent as the driven star. I was as innocent as William Patterson. Is that his name, William Patterson? I was as innocent as he. So let me see here. So the Pirates are, whew, so we got some good stuff going on. The Yankees at 12-4 right now as we're getting into the last week in April. Yeah, I only read the articles. Mick, how did you know that? Of course. Ha. And I'll tell you what, Smut Puppy Magazine has some great interviews. Let me tell you, pal, it's a great one. Not sure we've had that reference to JOI on the channel before. Well, we have now, man. We've done landing strips. We've done all kinds of stuff on here. Ken, who was it we were trying to tastefully describe landing strip to somebody and it wasn't sinking in? Anyhow, Todd says that he's nearing his 5-year anniversary. The 5-year anniversary, yeah, I remember when you started this, right? Of his 1977 to 82 project. At some point, Todd says he must embrace autoplay or do smaller projects. Oh my God. So John says he has some vintage Playboys, including the month that he was born, and has read all the articles. Yes. All right, let's look at what's going on here. Um, now that we've finished April 1971, standings first in the National League East, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 16 wins, 6 losses, 2.5 up on the Chicago Cubs. In the West, it's the San Diego Padres, at 15-6 and a 4-game lead on the Houston Astros. San Francisco Giants, who would win the NL West in 1971, are in the cellar at 8-15. In the American League East, the Detroit Tigers 15-5, 1 game up on the Yanks. Baltimore at third place, 6 games back, 9 wins, 11 lost. And in the American League West, Chicago White Sox and Minnesota Twins tied for first, each at 12-9. Oakland just percentage points back in second place at 14-11, and California 12-11. So the American League West, a bit of a dogfight going on out there. Looking at early leaders right now, Sal Bando leading in batting average with, and this is both leagues. So let's do National League first, and let's look at just basic leaders here. All right. So Legrand L'Orange is leading in batting average with 368. Dick Allen with 7 home runs playing for the Dodgers this year. Let me see. RBI. I always get my Alus messed up. Mea culpa. Matty. All right. There we go. So Matty Alou with 21 run RBI. Hank Aaron leading in OPS. Pitching, Steve Arlen with the San Diego Padres is a 2-2, a 0.64 earned run average. Fergie Jenkins and Doc Ellis each leading the National League in wins with 5. Dave Giusti of the Pirates with 4 saves. And Fergie Jenkins has mowed down 41 batters thus far. Let's check American League, just basic leaders. Don't want to go into great detail just yet, too early in the season. Sal Bando with a 416 average right now. Tony Oliva's cranked 7 home runs. Sal Bando, 23 runs batted in. Bando also with an OPS league leading of 1.226. Casey Cox for Washington, despite an 0-2 record with a 1.11 earned run average. But look at Vita Blue. He is 7-0, 1.29. Hell of a year for him thus far. With 7 wins, and behind him, Mickey Lolich with 6. Watt with 4 saves, along with Sanders and Lyle. So 3-way tie there. And strikeouts, Vita Blue with 55, and that's leading the majors right now in 1971. Ken loved the precursor to Playboy. It was called Bloomers. Came out in the 1920s. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, Clinton. I know you love to look at the stats. Mick says he's back from his self timeout. Was trying to see the deleted William Patterson message, and you thought you unhided him. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Paul fell back asleep. That's all right, Paul. It's all good, my friend. It is all good. Ken got to see their ankles and his heart went it went pitter patter, says Clinton. Oh my God. All right, guys. So we're gonna we'll do a few games in 71, then we'll just keep marching inexorably forward so that we can give legacy mode a good test, but that won't be for a little while. Um, but this is really, really such a it's really a grand time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. McGreevy will be coming up soon as I've gotten myself all fixed up. And for those of you wondering, there's the much, much nicer leaderboard. Now this is new, really nice looking here for Action PC. So again, a little bit of out of the park vibe here. Good stuff. Let me see. MVP, too early to tell right now, but there we go. All in order. And right now, it's no surprise here thus far. Vita Blue in line for the Cy Young, as we have finished April of 1971. So this is really kind of cool here. Don't know whether you know this. This has been around quite a while actually in Action PC Baseball, is that you can actually create customized reports in this game. So depending upon what you want to select, define, whatever. So good stuff. It was Chris, and I wish Chris was here because he wanted to know how to make something in the opening screen. So when you open certain things like this, if I would click this when we start 1971, it would show these custom leaders or what have you, and that holds true for anything. So I just wanted to do this and do opening screen. We would be able to see who is doing that thing, but we're not going to set that as an opening screen. Okay, what are we going on here, man? Oh man, all right. All right, so shit. Let's not let shit's gonna be blowing up here. Let's. That is no. We got to have a. We got to moderate something here because both you guys are fantastic baseball fans and stuff like that. And if you don't want me to moderate it, if somebody else would, um, I'd like to get you guys. You got to get together. Let's just work the shit out, please, 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 please. Okay. All right. I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and end it up here. And no, I don't think that's acceptable. Of course I don't. Um, not at all. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming in, and thank you to William Patterson. We'll be looking for you again, William, on Super Bowl baseball spectacular whenever the Super Bowl happens, February something or other. So, all right. Yep. So all good. So it's guys. We're just gonna have to. I don't know. I just wish that you guys could, you know what, have a good dust up and then finish it up with a nice Guinness, huh? Ah, you're welcome, Tessie Ashpool. I appreciate you guys, all of you. I even appreciate William Patterson. I do. So you're gonna be at Stupid Bowl? Up, you gotta be, cuz man, you gotta be. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll do some crazy things. Todd, thank you, buddy, for coming in. Everybody thanking me for the broadcast. But really, it's me. It is I should say, that thank all you guys for just giving me a couple hours of your time, of your life, and making this an awesome family, even though we do have our squabbles. Thank you, John. Everybody, have a good night. And till the next time, we'll see you around the batting cage. Maybe we'll have a little. So, no football in your house. It's been banned. I love it. Sometimes a totalitarian regime is a good thing, cuz. All right, guys, see you around the batting cage. Thank you, one and all. And also, don't forget that William Patterson, is that his name? I keep forgetting his name, was here tonight. We had a celeb. Good night, guys.